Welcome to Office Hours at TradersPost for September 23rd, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Hartman, Marketing Manager here at TradersPost, alongside Mike Christensen, co-founder and CSO. We're always working to make TradersPost better day in and day out. Each week, we take a deep dive into all things TradersPost, answering your questions, gathering your feedback, and helping you get the best out of the advanced trade execution engine known since the Younger Dryas impact. I forgot that was still on my teleprompter, the joke about the asteroid hitting the Earth. To that end, we encourage you to submit your questions in the chat, and we'll get to them by the end of the stream. But first, I'd like to ask you, Mike, how does it feel on Price Action Live now, being so good that basically every episode is just going to be you hitting it out of the park, winning day in and day out? Please elucidate us.
Now you set me up for failure. The moment you get overconfident is when you get side smacked by the markets. So no, it feels great. I think we've dialed in an approach that's starting to really play out, and I don't want to jinx it, but I'm just going to try to stay as consistent as possible now. So hopefully payouts are down the pipeline here.
Well, I wanted to bring this up because it's been interesting. The whole point of us doing these types of content on TradersPost is to show you guys that we are all in this with you. Like we are making this application for you, and we're also using it as well. But as far as the content is concerned, we also want to get better and better and better at what we do, and we want you to be better as well. And Mike has been at the center focus of not only the new developments on the platform, but also interviews with people on Trading Bot sessions, which you can check out on our YouTube channel, where you get seriously useful insights from people from all walks of life and all kinds of different trading styles. And Mike, I think you might agree that because of these interviews you've been doing, it actually has made you a better trader.
I agree. I think even the first interview I did with Farmer John, or Futures Farming on Twitter, which was a great interview. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you look up our series on Trading Bot Sessions on YouTube, and look for the episode we did with Farming Futures, or Futures Farming. I can't remember what the order of his username, but anyway, fantastic episode. He was actually plowing his back 9 acres while he did the entire episode, and explained that he had an approach where he was searching for 10 points of take and 20 points of loss. And it felt upside down to me. And I kind of poo-pooed the idea the first time I heard it, because I've been classically trained in this process of building high win rate and decent profit factor strategies. You want to be around 60 or 70% minimum and about a 1.5 profit factor. But people have been reversing that and just trying to get to a take profit as fast as possible. And I'm starting to see the reason that they have switched to that. It's about successfully getting to base rather than trying to hit a home run. Just get to the next base. And that actually makes a ton of sense.
That's awesome. And it's inspired me too. It's made me try things I wouldn't have tried before because of the successes that I see on the platform, which, as I've stated, I don't hide it. It hurts me to see other people succeed and me not succeed, and it's what drives me. So it's been fun to regularly watch the content, seeing what's out there. Now, if you guys have anyone you want us to interview, anything that you want to see, any questions you want us to ask, please let us know. We're always interested to see who out there are running trading communities, creating tools, or have insights that you will love more deep dive on. We had an interview recently with Ernie Chan, Internet Legend, and that was very different than the other interviews we've done with like prop firm traders or individual traders or trading groups or anything like that. That was particularly interesting. So yeah, we're going to keep on putting content out for you guys. Last piece was the last week on Blueprint, we did just basically a walkthrough of how I grew from $0 a month to $10,000 a month, writing indicators and strategies for people on Upwork and on Fiverr. And the reason I bring that up is that we've had a few questions from people regularly who have asked, they've asked about how to hire a developer, and we've talked about that. But what I thought was interesting was also being able to, you can use your knowledge within the retail space to make money without directly trading, which to me was like super useful. This idea that it's like the you might not be a great chef, but you might be a good restaurant owner. You might not be a good NASCAR driver, but you might be good in the pit stop. Like, it doesn't mean you can't be part of this experience.
Mhm.
And so, Peter, if you want to put this up on the screen, we did go through um, uh, the beginner phase. We have 3 episodes coming. The next one is on Thursday this week, where we're going to go through some of the intermediary steps. So when we step through some of the main things you want to think about when you are when you're trying to become a PineScript developer. And it's not only specific to PineScript. You can do this with Python, you can do it with Rust, you can do it with any kinds of tools, MetaTrader, with anything. There's a whole ecosystem here in the retail trading space that you can take advantage of. So that was pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to more feedback on that. Now, in addition to all that, we obviously want to continue making the TradersPost platform better and better and better. And we've had a number of features that have been added to the interface that have been rolled out over the last few days. So we'll step through some of those here for you today so you can see what they're like. So first off, bulk enable and disable strategies and subscriptions. So you can now enable or disable strategies or subscriptions in bulk. Simply use the enable and disable buttons located at the top right of the strategies and subscription lists. This is a fun one. Mike had been asking for this, as well as some people within the community, because sometimes either let me know, Mike, is it more like in general the quality of life, or sometimes in the heat of the moment you want to turn off the strategy?
I mean, I have several different lines on my chart that correspond to several different strategies. And so just being able to bulk disable all of them at the same time is really convenient when I'm kind of trying to lock myself out of my trading activity, or I don't want some rogue alert to fire on the trading view chart and accidentally put me in a trade that I didn't expect. So having it there has been a really nice quality of life thing, without having to go through and hit the 3-dot menu, hit disable, confirm that I want to check the box to confirm I want to disable, then hit the disable button again. There were effectively 4 steps in place before you could even disable one strategy, and now you can disable all of them at the same time.
Wonderful. And we also have, in tandem with that, the idea of clickable badges. So you can now click enabled. You can either click the enable disable badge or the auto submit manual submit badge to quickly toggle the status. These badges are clickable from both the list and edit views. This is funny. We've had this inside of our staging, like in the demo area for ourselves to test for a while now. And whenever I go back, when I used to go back to the main production area and clicking on those badges, I go, hey, why can't I turn off my strategy with just one click? Why can't they turn it on with one click? And now everyone's going to be able to have the same sort of feeling. So here in the back end, these 2 badges, the disable, enabled, and manual submit, auto submit, if you click on them, it'll toggle the strategy and toggle their settings. Super useful for me, even more than being able to enable and disable things in bulk. I find myself, either I forgot to enable my strategy and I realized it 3 seconds before I think that that a signal is about to come through, or I just need to be able to just pull the whipcord right away. I made some mistake on TradingView. My lines weren't where I thought they were going to be. I'm not sure what's going on. I just want to go ahead and click on disable, and I can do that really, really quickly without, like Mike said, having to go through different submenus in order to do it. I love it. I do imagine that there might be a influx of people trying to click on various different things around our interface now, trying to figure out, hey, does this allow me to click through things? But I could imagine, as I talk to Mike and John, more and more now, we want this quality of life thing, where things that you expect to click on that are intuitive, that'll actually make that change. I was actually talking to John earlier on today about the bulk select feature for different items in the list, and that's going to be another thing that's going to be added soon for people to be able to do.
Great.
All right. Remember search form values. So when submitting a search form, your search criteria are now remembered. If you navigate away, if you navigate away and return later, your filters will be remembered. To remove these filters, click the clear button at the top right of the search form. If filters are applied, the list title will appear in italics. Searchable lists are now dynamic. They automatically update when you adjust the search filter, eliminating the need to manually submit the form. So inside of a just to increase the usefulness of our search field over here, now we have the option. Let's say I switch this to enable to filter it. You'll notice up here under subscriptions, the title's italicized to let me know that I'm actually filtered. If I go to another page and come back to that page, it maintains that. And if I want to clear that out, I can click on the clear button in order to do that. So um, oftentimes sometimes I just want to go like, what are all the different subscriptions I have online or signals that came through or what have you? That's for Bitcoin. I could just type that in. It reduces my list. I'll be able to see those items appear there. Nice. Let's see here. Account level signals and trades page. So we choose an account level searchable list for signals and trades, allowing you to easily find specific signals or trades across your entire account. Mike, if I'm not mistaken, this is something that Trevor was asking for, right? I forget the context for exactly what this was for, but the idea here is that forgive me, let me just pull this up again. Over here under the account drop down, you have a
Right.
signals tab, and now you can see all the signals that you receive from across all the different strategies, right?
Correct. Yeah. So before you would have to go into a strategy, hit signals, and it gives you the signals just for that strategy. But sometimes, if you have a lot of signals coming in across multiple strategies, it's nice to see it from an aggregate view. So we've tucked away the signals tab in the account section. It's kind of set aside on purpose because it's a lot of data to look through. But now you'll actually be able to see all your signals across all your strategies from this view.
Perfect. I want to thank Adventura Trader for being here in the chat today. Thank you so much. And we also have a question here from Danny Permont in the chat who's asking, what are some reliable strategies that are there for purchase? I was looking at the Algo Pro or Quant View. Is there any that you recommend for futures trading? Just looking for recommendations.
Yeah,
Well,
we have a special paid page. The minimum entry is about $1 million for the strategy access. No, we're totally kidding. Go ahead, Tom. Take it from here. Obviously, we here support the independent trader, but I'm sure you had more to add to that.
that's right. Yeah. So we're not in the business of recommending specific strategies that you should follow. That's a dangerous path and a great way of losing your credibility. So what we focus on is making tools that can work with as many strategies that are out there. If you're interested though in trying to figure out things that people tools that people use or strategies that people follow, feel free to take a look at the Trading Bot Sessions videos. You get to see Mike do interviews with people who have their own idea. This is the spin. This is the way I want to approach markets, either specific strategies or general guidelines. Some people also find it useful to go into our Discord. So if you head over to our TradersPost Discord, you'll be able to see in the general chat people talk about different things that they find to be successful, along with obviously how to use our platform. People like to support each other there. So we do not promote a solicitation within our platform. So if anyone here is thinking about, I want to go and sell a strategy that I have or want to promote something or, you know, to gain some affiliate code or whatever it is, some referral income on that, you can do that within our Discord. It's just for general sharing of what you find to be useful. But you
Mhm.
can feel free to go in here and go, hey, I want to trade this asset. I have this amount of risk tolerance. I tried this before, it didn't work. I tried this in the future. This looks promising. Anyone else have anything that they can suggest? And you might find it pretty useful. It's hundreds of people that are on here at any given time, even at the dead of night when I'm in there. So
Yeah, it's a very
there's a
active
lot.
Discord. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, we highly encourage you to understand markets from your perspective, decide on your asset class, your risk tolerance, your indicators, your kind of unique view on the markets. because everybody's going to have a different way, a slightly different way of looking at things. And if you look at our Trading Bot Sessions episodes, I've interviewed and talked to dozens and dozens of traders over the years. Everybody has a slightly different skew on things. So picking up a strategy off the shelf is unlikely to work perfectly for your needs.
All right, so let's move on to the next one here, the next update from our releases. So we have sorting options for strategies and subscriptions. You now have the ability to sort by alphabetically, by newest first or last updated. For people who have a lot of strategies, I can imagine this is super, super useful. And it helps with, I'm actually going to start changing I probably start changing my naming scheme because of it, because I would like to be able to organize things in certain ways, and it makes it more reasonable to do so. So now you could, through here, the search menu, sort by alphabetically, newest, or for me, last updated, which would be great, because I want my prop firm strategies to be at that top of the list, and it keeps moving further down, further down, further down, further down, and now it doesn't have to do that anymore. All right, next up, we have, oh, right, there's an additional option here for the search. If you want to change the default sort for your user, you can do so by navigating to account, user settings, and default strategy, and editing the default strategy sort order and subscriptions sort order. So account user. Oh, where is it going to be here? Account. I don't see that here. Am I missing it, Mike? Where can I change my default sort order?
It should be on the strategies or subscription page.
Oh, for the default ones?
I
Oh.
believe so. You can basically just clear the sort order that you currently have, and that will go back. But remember, it just remembers what you selected before.
Oh, I think maybe there was an extra user setting here under account settings. All right. Well,
Then it
maybe I'm
should
not
be
seeing
under
that there.
user settings. I don't think I noticed that change.
Oh, there it is. Never mind. So it's right under account, under the section for
User
user
settings.
settings right
Yep.
here. That's awesome. You know what? Let me change that to last updated, and I'm good to go.
There you go.
All right. Remove the view screen. We've combined the view and edit screens for strategies, subscriptions, brokers, to eliminate redundancy and enhance user experience. Now only the edit button will be available in the menu for strategy, subscriptions, and brokers. This was a fun one. The idea here is that a lot of people didn't need to be on, they didn't need to have these two things separated. They just needed the edit screen there. So if you're headed over to your strategies, click on edit for it. You'll notice the view button is no longer here. You click on edit and you're still seeing all the same settings. Actually, I was never on the view page. I don't know, Mike, if you've ever went to the view page. I never looked at it.
No, not really. I always went to the edit screen, even if I wanted to review the settings.
Right. All right, and finally here we have clone strategies and subscriptions. You can now
This
easily
is a big one.
Yeah, you can easily duplicate strategies and subscriptions. Simply click the three dot drop down menu and select clone option. The clone strategy or subscription will be created in a disabled state for you when you edit before enabling. Fun. So head off here and click on clone, and then you can clone a strategy. Will create a copy of it, and it's here and ready for me in a disabled state, which is super important. Just make sure that is set up properly.
Now, this is really nice if you've got multiple prop firm accounts and you just want to copy the settings from another account of similar size and similar settings. Of course, you can always have default subscription settings in your strategy, but let's say you've set out some unique settings just for your Apex accounts, and your default strategy settings have a whole set of different position size criteria to them. I could just clone one of my Apex subscriptions, change the broker, and then save it and enable it, and it's ready to go. And then I can clone it again and change the broker again, and so on and so forth. It makes it a little bit easier to apply settings across multiple accounts.
All right, that's it for the updates that we made to TradersPost. You guys can always take a look at the releases yourself by going to docs.traderspost.io and clicking on new releases at the top left. For now, let's move off to the questions that we have received over the last week. We'll start off, but actually before we do, we'll just have a quick word from our sponsor.
Ask yourself this: are you making trading harder than it needs to be? If you're trading manually or still coding just to connect to your broker, yeah, it's time to upgrade. TradersPost lets you automate trades using signals from tools like TradingView or TrendSpider or even your own custom setup. It works with brokers like TradeStation, Tradeovate, Coinbase, and a bunch more. I've been using it myself, and getting started was smooth. The platform's clean, setup's quick, and once it's running, it just works. And when you're ready to scale, adding more strategies, plugging into prop firm accounts, or juggling multiple portfolios, TradersPost handles it. It's built to grow with you. Start your free trial at TradersPost.io. Trade smarter, automate your edge.
Welcome back. So first question comes in from Michael, who asks, how can I easily copy a strategy I have already set up, but change the prop firm? So two different prop firms are trading the same strategy from TradingView. I have it already set up with one prop firm in my account with you, just hoping I can get it done and change the prop firm. So this will be exactly that feature we just talked about for the cloning. We can head into one. So if I had a strategy, or even so right now, if I have a strategy, let's say I have a strategy here for my prop firm, and I click into there, I have one subscription active on that.
And we should probably, before we do the clone, we should probably just recall back the default settings for the strategy, because those would be applied to any new subscriptions. And then we'll show the clone functionality, because there's two different ways to get there.
Perfect. So if I'm in my strategy and I click on the edit, I'll see what the what my subscription defaults are. So you're saying if I want these to be different, I could, well, not that I wouldn't want them to be different, but these would be the defaults that get created when I create a new subscription tied to this strategy.
Exactly.
So if I were to go here to subscription, click on new subscription at the top right, and then clone it. Let me just clone my prop for one specifically. And then I connect it. The settings that I'm seeing for my strategy here are from the defaults that were set up for that strategy, for that original strategy.
Now that's if you go through the new subscription flow. But if you clone an existing subscription, you can just change the broker. So it just depends on how you want to do it.
That's right. So here on my subscription, I already have one set up for my prop firm. I can go ahead, clone this, and it'll be set up here. I can change the settings or leave them as they were for the cloned one. I click on save, and we'll see it in my list here. All right. Next question comes in from John F., who asks, where do you go to change the number of positions allowed? Actually, I should have checked this one beforehand. The field for max strategy positions, I know we had removed that, and then we had put it back and removed it. I can't remember. Do we still have that feature still here?
For which one again?
Max strategy positions.
Oh, well, it would be under your broker connection. So if you head to brokers and you choose one of your broker connections here and you hit edit, you'll have to hit edit on one of these that is active, like Topstep 9 there. And then you have max strategy positions there. So it's still at the account level, but your feature is under the broker section, not under the strategy or subscription.
Got it.
And that's because we manage positions at the account level, not the strategy or subscription level. You could have 3 different strategies and subscriptions for one broker, and we're still going to look at the positions available at that account. So, if you sent a signal for NQ in one account, or excuse me, in one strategy, and sent another signal in another strategy, that's still 2 NQ in that one account. So that's why we have it at the account level.
Got it. Okay. Next question comes in from Jim C, who asks, if I want to connect to a Tradier paper account, do I need to delete one of the existing paper accounts, or can I deactivate that existing?
It's kind of up to you. You can disable it, and that way it doesn't really show up in the application anymore. It might be better just to delete it if you don't really want it on Traders Post at all anymore and not exposed to our system in any way. But just be aware that if you disable an account from a broker and enable another one, or if you try to delete it from our system, sometimes it'll just automatically show back up again because we're always asking for the accounts from the broker. So the best thing to do is probably just disable it in the broker section.
Got it. Next up, a question from Green. If I wanted to trade spreads, how could I send a signal to TradersPost to simultaneously open a long and a short into different signals? Forgive me, that last part might have been wrong here, but basically they want to know if in one request, or how they should go about doing that trading spread. Do it to send one signal or two signals in order to open up a long and a short
Are we talking about calendar spreads in futures or in options?
in futures?
Okay. So in futures, it should be the front month and second month contract that you would be looking to create a spread for. And usually you're measuring something like contango or backwardation to determine which one to go long and which one to go short on. So if we're in contango, for example, I would want to go long the front month contract and short the second contract. And that would just require that you hard code the symbol for the front month contract, which today currently would be NQZ 2025. And then I would have a second signal for NQ H 2026, and that would be the one that I go short in. So you just need to hard code the symbols and you can do the calendar spreads from there.
Okay, so yes, that'd be for calendar spreads. Forgive me. This person was asking, let's say they wanted to go long ES, short Nasdaq, let's say.
Same thing. You just need to hard code the symbols. So long ESZ 2025 and short NQZ 2025, and that would be a pairs trade, basically what you're
That's
describing
right.
there.
Right.
Yep.
So the important thing to remember here is that it would need to be two signals sent, one for the one contract and the other one for the second one. You
That's
couldn't
right.
send them both into one signal, and you'd have to be careful. There was a conversation with someone where they wanted to use limit orders for these things, but you can't make sure that one side is filled. You can't make sure that both sides got filled. If you
Yeah.
send the orders in, they'll be subject to the whims of the markets.
At the moment, we don't have a mechanism to combine trades together in which, they all need to be filled together. Not all brokers actually allow that either. So we have considered a way to send a group of orders together, which might include the ability to say, okay, I want to go long ES and go short NQ, and I want both these to fill at these limit prices and so on and so forth. But at the moment, you would just send two separate alerts and cross your fingers that the limit order gets filled. So just be careful because there is that potential that if the second order isn't filled, that you're exposed long or short on one side of that trade.
That's right.
Unless you haven't set the market, of course.
Right. All right. Next question comes in from Huafeng. Question about entry order type. It says if allow entry extended hours is checked, entry orders will be sent to your broker as extended hours limit orders when the market is closed. If you also select the market order type, then the extended hours limit orders will be used when the market is closed, and market orders will be used when the market is open.
Mhm.
The option can only be used with the stocks asset class. My question is, what price will be used to place the after hours limit order if the signal does not specify price?
That's a great question. We look up the market price from the broker at the time of the signal, and that's the limit price that we use when you send the signal in the extended session. Um, it's always recommended to send a signal price so that we can go off of where your signal source came from and the price that was specified at that time. Otherwise, there could be some slippage between what you were expecting to get in at and what the market price was by the time it gets to the broker.
Cool. All right. This actually, next question comes from me. Topstep just added, I already know what the answer is. Topstep just added OCO orders to the interface. Does that mean it's available in TradersPost now?
Not immediately. We have to do the engineering work. Sorry, did you want to answer that? I'll
Well,
just
well, we integrate, if you're using Project X in order to connect, Project X's API needs to be available, needs to have those OCO orders available, and then it needs to be exposed to the API for us to be able to do it. So just because they add features into Topstep within that interface doesn't mean it automatically becomes available to Project X. And just because it's on Project X doesn't mean it automatically gets integrated within TradersPost. There's a pipeline there.
That said, we just discovered it's in the API.
It is?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
OCO
bear with
orders.
us. We'll get some engineering work done, and we should be able to integrate that soon.
Excellent. And final question here comes from Carol, who asks, I need help with a setup, please. I have orders that reverse. How do I set that up on TradersPost so that the previous orders closes and opens the next one? So specifically what she was asking is that she wants to make sure that the position reverses and the new position size is the same as the old position, the long position size if they went short. Is there a way of doing that so that without having to send in the specific quantity, you just send a reverse order and it just takes the opposite side for the same number of contracts?
I mean, that's effectively enabling side swapping in your strategy.
But you have to send a position, you have to send quantity for that to work.
No, you can just send the sell.
I learned something new today.
There you go.
You can just send a sell signal without a quantity, and then it will take the opposite side with the same number of contracts you had beforehand.
As long as you have side swapping enabled, yes. We'll go look up the position size you have open in your long and effectively take that position size. Let's say you're in Microsoft for 77 shares and you're in a long and you send an action sell signal and you don't specify the quantity. We'll look up that position size and reverse your position to a short 77 shares.
Awesome. Excellent there. All right. So this is side swapping available, and you'll see it within the strategy details under the sides component, allow side swapping, which is obviously only available if you have sides both bullish and bearish. Otherwise, it'll be disabled.
That's right.
Excellent. Well, that's it for the questions we have for this week. If you guys have any other questions in the future, feedback, testimonials, praises, we love praises, please send them over to us.
Say nice things.
You can go to feedback.traderspost.io to leave your message there, or of course, submit them on YouTube here as a comment or as a message by clicking on the little intercom button in the dashboard once you're logged in. We'll be back next Tuesday for more updates on what has to be, if not, has to be the best application in the world, better than Dropbox, better than Twitter, better than everything. I don't know. TradersPost is just right up there with the big dogs. No, we love working with the software. We love working with you, and we want to collaborate with you every single day. So like and subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of the next office hours or any other piece of content that we make. But until next week, we wish you, as always, happy trading.
I do want to throw out one last thing. Sorry to throw in a postscript here, but for those who are listening or watch this video after the fact, I want to put together a short list of individuals who are interested in testing a risk management feature we're working on, where at the pro and premium levels, we have an AI/machine learning based system that will take your historical performance and give you a probability of profit score in your strategy in TradersPost. And this will make it to where if you're a systematic trader and you've got consistent trades coming through, and there are at least about 100 days of trading data, that we should be able to give you an AI assisted approach to risk management that effectively can tell you if the probability is greater than 55%, for example, then maybe you size a slightly larger, or you keep it at a normal position size, or you can make it as simple and hard of a rule as saying, if the prediction score is less than 55, then don't take a trade at all that day. And we're thinking about this risk management solution as being something that's available to more sophisticated, systematic traders. So I'd like to get a group of people together that might be interested in experimenting with this. I'd like to get some feedback on how it might work. If it's something you'd like to participate in, it's something we can give you for free once we go live for it for at least a few months.
Aventura, you're going to be top of the list there.
I would hope
Come
so.
on
I
in.
was thinking, since Aventura is listening, I would think he might be the first person that would be interested in something like this.
Perfect.
If
Excellent.
so, just hit us up in support at TradersPost.io.
Awesome. But for reals now, we like to wish you guys
Okay.
a great week.
I'll let you guys go now.
Happy trading, folks.
Cheers, everyone.